Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's practice, we're going to work on our feet. So for this practice, it'll be nice to have a chair nearby and a tennis ball. And if you don't have a tennis ball, that's okay. You can skip the first two movements we do, but I really suggest getting a tennis ball. It's worth it. Okay, so we're going to take our tennis ball and you're going to take your right foot, the mound of the right big toe, right onto the tennis ball and press down. Aha, so working with the feet today. Now, when you're working with your foot, I want you to think about your feet as having three lines. You've got outside, inside, and outer edge. And we're going to just go from the mound of the big toe and press down a little bit farther on the foot. So you're moving your foot forward and you press. And you keep doing this along the inner arch of the foot. And going right in front of the heel and pressing down and just feeling any tender spots. And then we'll roll the ball back up towards the top of the foot. So now we come to the center middle and you're going to press center middle of the upper foot down. You roll the foot forward a little and press down. And again, you're going down center line of the foot and pressing down. See if your eyes get really wide. Trying to squish that tennis ball and come right in front of the heel again. Good. And we'll slide our foot back. You're going to take the ball now more towards the outer edge of the foot. So mound to the pinky toe and press down. Slide the foot forward, press down. And you're working along the outer portion of your foot, all the way in front of the heel once again. Good. And then bringing foot and ball back a little bit closer. And if you need that extra balance, please feel free to hold on to chair, wall, whatever's nearby. You're going to just roll your foot back and forth on the ball. Oh, this is such a good one. Our feet are so important, and then we trap them in shoes often. So this is a chance for the feet to get out and to open up, release that tension and tightness. So we want to keep the feet strong and flexible, so we can adapt to changes in our terrain. Okay, now this is going to be interesting. You're going to take your big toe and second toe and try to wrap them around the ball and get a little bit more stretch. And then the ball might run away from you on this one. You're going to go more towards pinky toe, ring toe, middle toe, and just stretching those toes on the ball. Good. And then release the right foot to the floor and stand in mountain. So the feet are beneath the hips and the arms alongside the body. And I want you to take that brief moment and feel the difference between right and left side. Does one foot feel a little more spacious than the other? One thigh a little more settled back? And even the shoulders. Notice what's changed. And we'll switch sides. So now ball with left foot. You come to the mound of the big toe and you press down and along the inner edge of the foot, working your way forward. And if you find a tight spot, a tense spot, stay, work there for a moment. Coming forward a little bit more. Good. And sliding the foot back so the ball now is towards the middle portion of the foot. If you were to imagine a line from the top of the foot to the heel. Good. You slowly roll the ball of the foot forward, pressing down as you go, knowing that there's a whole methodology around working with the feet. And there's a practice called reflexology, where you work with the feet and you recognize that there are certain places in the feet that reflect the well-being of other parts of your body. So if you're having an experience with a bad headache, you can work with a certain portion of the foot and find relief or even digestion. The feet tell a story. Okay, so pinky side of the foot, the outer edge of the foot, you're just pressing down, mound to the pinky toe and working your way forward with that foot. Oh, you never knew the feet could get this tight maybe. I forget, you know? As much as I run around barefoot and as much as I do this, always an interesting surprise. So the ball right in front of the heel and you press down And then just roll the foot around on the ball a little bit. Again, holding on to the chair for balance if you need that extra help. Good. And then you're going to take big toe, second toe, wrap them around the ball. Toe stretch. And then fourth and fifth toe and that third toe, wrap them around the ball. If the ball gets cheeky and bounces away, just show them who's boss and bring it right back to the mat. Good. All right, and we're done with the tennis ball. Just rest and mount it. That should feel better. All the way from the feet up to the hips, to the lower back, to the shoulders. Okay, next one you can do seated, and I'm gonna just kind of kick my ball out of the way. Now, as that bounces around, makes lots of noise. You're gonna hold onto a chair, bring your right foot forward, and just make little circles, okay? Now, as you do these circles, you can also do the seated if that works better. But as you do the circles, really work on pointing the foot and then flexing. So you get full range of motion. If you feel very steady, take your hand off the chair and switch directions. Good. So we're going through full range of motion from flexion to extension. Good. One more circle. And then right foot comes down and we'll switch sides. I'm going to take left leg in front and circle the foot. Nice big circles, taking your time. And even as you flex the foot, spread those toes. Pause, switch directions. Really pointing the foot. Good. And then foot comes to the floor. Wonderful. One more standing. So again, you can hold on if you wish, but you're going to lift your right heel up off the ground. Now here's the important piece. Keep as much weight on the big toe side as the pinky toe side. Don't let your foot do this, okay, where you roll to the pinky toe side when you torque the foot. Not good for knee. Push down through the mound of the big toe and then press your heel forward. So you feel a stretch along the front of the shin. We're opening up the front of the ankle. And then push off to a point. Good. Spread the toes, ball the foot down, root the heel. 2 more times like that. You lift that right heel, press the heel forward, push to a point, spread the toes, ball the foot, roots, and then the heel. Last time, right heel lifts, press the heel forward, and push to a point, toes spread, root the heel. Left leg. You're going to lift the left heel and press it forward, making sure that right from the get-go, you've got your weight balanced evenly between inner and outer edge of the foot. And push to a point. Toes spread, root the heel. 2 more times, lift the heel, pressing it forward, push to a point. Toes spread, root the heel. And final time. Lift that heel, pressing it forward, and push to a point. Spread the toes and root the heel. Wonderful. We're going to finish up with seated. So just taking your seat, and you can do this seated on the ground as well. You don't have to have a chair necessarily, but sit at the seat's edge. That's a tongue twister. Right ankle over thigh. Now, we're going to have a little bit of fun and hold hands with our feet. You're going to take your left hand and interlace your fingers with your toes. See if you can do that. And just hold hands with your feet for a moment. Your fingers spreading your toes. Another few breaths. And this is something that you can do anywhere from, a few breaths upwards to of a minute, let's say. And work on opening up those toes. If they're willing to hold hands with your hands. Hold feet with your hands. So just getting used to this. There's other movements we can do, but for now, just holding our toes really between the toes. And then slowly release the fingers and release right foot to the floor. And just feel the difference. Okay, left side. The left ankle on top of thigh, and interlace your fingers with your foot. And there's always the one side that's a little bit friendlier, a little more willing to play. So just spreading the toes, holding hands with your foot. So if you're ever lonely, you can just hold hands with your feet. I get a little silly, but it's not often that you're asked to interlace your fingers between your toes. Almost as interesting as the underwater basket weaving class that you hear about, that mythical class in college. But this is a really wonderful thing. It's going to bring an opening and a flexibility to the big toe. So if you suffer from bunions at all, or your toes feel very cramped, the hammerhead toes that can happen often to dancers, or if you're in very tight shoes, this is a way to alleviate that, to find a pathway where your toes can spread again. And the reason we want to spread the toes is for balance, stability. And we want to maintain that as we continue to live on this planet, as we continue on our journey. Last breath. And then release the foot. Take a deep breath. I thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.